Welcome back to Arsenal Updates, the home of everything Arsenal. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's get into it. Because tonight, we are talking about one of the most electric moments in English football in over 2 decades. Arsenal versus Burnley. Monday night, the Emirates, and the weight of 22 years sitting squarely on the shoulders of Mikel Arteta's men. Let's not waste a single second. Let's go. It is the penultimate weekend of the Premier League season, and the title race has come down to this. 2 clubs, 2 matches, and the thinnest of margins separating glory from heartbreak. Arsenal sit at the top of the Premier League table with 79 points, just 2 points clear of Manchester City. Both clubs have 2 games remaining. The equation for Arsenal is beautifully simple. Win on Monday night at the Emirates against already relegated Burnley, and then watch nervously as City face Bournemouth on Tuesday. If City slip up and if they draw or lose at the Vitality Stadium, then Arsenal are Premier League champions before they even kick a ball on the final day. 22 years of hurt, finally over. Can you imagine that? The last time Arsenal were champions of England, Thierry Henry was in his prime. Patrick Vieira was dominating midfields, and Arsène Wenger was the most decorated manager in the country. That was 2004. A whole generation of football supporters grew up never seeing Arsenal lift that trophy. But right now they are 90 minutes, possibly one result in another stadium, away from ending the drought. And standing between them and that dream? Burnley. A Burnley side already relegated, already consigned to the Championship, with absolutely nothing to lose. That, ladies and gentlemen, is either the most comfortable fixture on Arsenal's schedule or the most dangerous. Arsenal's form, relentless but not perfect. Let's talk about Arsenal's recent run, because it has been a roller coaster. Back in March and through most of April, the Gunners went through a genuinely worrying patch, winning just 1 game in 6 between March 22nd and April 19th. For supporters who had watched this team fall agonisingly short in previous seasons, those results brought back every nightmare. The old bottle job accusation started circulating again. The doubts crept in. But Mikel Arteta's side has responded in the most emphatic way possible. Since that wobble, Arsenal have won 4 of their last 5 Premier League games, and crucially, they have kept clean sheets in each of their last 3 matches. They are not just winning, they are suffocating teams. Defensive solidity has become their trademark. 18 clean sheet victories in the league this season. 7 of those wins by a single goal. When this Arsenal team gets their teeth into a lead, they do not let go. And their record against relegated sides is, frankly, terrifying for Burnley to read. Since 1992, Arsenal have won every single Premier League match they have played against a team already confirmed as relegated. 10 games, 10 wins. A perfect record. If Burnley want to pull off a miracle on Monday, they are not just writing a new chapter. They are tearing up the entire book. There is also the matter of Arsenal's Champions League journey. They are finalists, set to face Paris Saint-Germain on May 30th. Mikel Arteta is managing energy carefully. Some players will be rested with one eye on that European showpiece. But you can be sure the core of this side, the Sakas, the Risis, the Gyökeresens of this world, will be fully focused on getting the job done at the Emirates on Monday night. The controversial win at West Ham. You cannot preview this match without talking about what happened at the London Stadium last weekend, because that game, that chaotic, dramatic, nerve-shredding 90 minutes, was the match that kept Arsenal's title dream alive in the most controversial fashion imaginable. With the score at 1-0 to Arsenal, deep into injury time, West Ham thought they had snatched a dramatic equaliser. Callum Wilson put the ball in the net. The travelling West Ham fans erupted, and for a brief, horrible moment, Arsenal's title charge looked like it was stuttering again. But then, VAR referee Chris Kavanagh received a message. After what felt like an eternity, the announcement came over the stadium PA. West Ham number 19 committed a foul on the goalkeeper. Direct free kick. Goal disallowed. Pablo had been deemed to have fouled David Raya during the scramble, and Raya himself had his shirt pulled by Jean-Claire Todibo in the same moment. It was chaotic. It was controversial. West Ham were furious. Neutral observers were divided. But the decision stood. Arsenal had their 1-0 win. Their lead at the top of the table remained intact. Arsenal supporters celebrated that announcement almost as loudly as they had cheered Leandro Trossard's goal earlier in the game, because they knew exactly what it meant. 2 games left, title still in their hands. The injury crisis at right back, but that win came at a price, a serious one. Because in that match at West Ham, Ben White suffered what Mikel Arteta has described as a long-term knee injury. The Arsenal and England right back is done for the season. His World Cup dream is now in serious doubt. In Arteta's own words, and this is sobering, it looks like a long-term situation, and the focus right now is simply on getting him available for Arsenal next season. That is a huge blow. Ben White had enjoyed a brilliant resurgence this term. After a difficult period, he had forced his way back into the England reckoning, and now, with the biggest moments of the season approaching, he is watching from the stands. Jurrien Timber is also unavailable. The Dutch international has been out since March after suffering a knee problem in the Everton game, and despite Arteta saying his recovery would be a matter of days, those days have now stretched into weeks. Arteta has spoken warmly about Timber's attitude, praising the way he has remained close to the squad and continued to show leadership even from the sidelines. But leadership from the sidelines doesn't fill the right-back position on Monday night. So who plays there? Christian Mosquera is the most likely option, a versatile defender who has shown he can handle the physicality of Premier League football. He filled in admirably when Timber first got injured, and Arteta trusts him. Against Burnley, Mosquera will have the chance to play a small but meaningful part in what could be one of the biggest nights in Arsenal's history. The other injury concern is Riccardo Calafiori. The Italian defender was withdrawn at half-time in the West Ham victory, and Arteta admitted in his press conference that there is genuine uncertainty over whether he will be fit in time. However, and this is encouraging, Arteta was hopeful, and the sight of Calafiori sprinting onto the pitch to join the celebrations at full-time in London suggested the problem was not as severe as feared. The 8-day gap before the Burnley match should give him enough time to recover. But Arteta confirmed they will wait and see. Piero Hincapié provides cover if Calafiori is not available. Mikel Merino, nursing a broken foot, and Jurrien Timber are definitely out. But both are reportedly targeting the final day against Crystal Palace. The likely Arsenal lineup. So how will Arsenal line up on Monday night? Based on the most detailed analysis available and Arteta's press conference hints, expect something like this. David Raya in goal. He has been outstanding all season and kept a clean sheet at West Ham. At right back, Christian Mosquera, filling in for the injured White and Timber. William Saliba and Gabriel at centre-back. This partnership has been the spine of Arsenal's title charge. Dominant aerially, commanding with the ball at their feet, and a centre-back pairing that would walk into almost any team in Europe. At left-back, either Riccardo Calafiori, if he passes his fitness test, or Piero Hincapié as the alternative. In the double pivot, Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Rice has been immense all season, one of the best box-to-box midfielders in England. Lewis-Skelly, the young 20-year-old, has been a revelation. The fact that Arteta was willing to experiment with Rice at right back against West Ham shows how much he values Lewis-Skelly in that midfield role. In the attacking trio behind the striker, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and Leandro Trossard. And leading the line, Viktor Gyökeres. The Swedish striker's arrival has transformed Arsenal's attack. His combination of hold-up play, movement and finishing is exactly what Arteta has been demanding for years. Odegaard is especially interesting here. The Norwegian captain came on as a substitute against West Ham and set up the winning goal with a sublime assist. Having him starting in this game, at this moment, feels enormously important. Burnley, nothing to lose, everything to prove. Now let's talk about Burnley because they deserve more than just a footnote in this preview. Mike Jackson's side are down. They were relegated weeks ago. They have spent most of this season in survival mode, and with 21 points from 36 games, they are firmly planted in 19th position. Their away record this season has been dreadful, conceding 45 goals in 18 away games, the worst defensive record on the road in the entire division. They have not kept a single clean sheet away from home all season. And yet, And this is important, they are not dead. They are not a side that will roll over and accept a heavy defeat without putting up a fight. The evidence came last weekend when they drew 2-2 with Aston Villa, a side chasing Champions League qualification. Burnley went ahead first. They created chances throughout. They were genuinely competitive. Zian Fleming has been one of the few genuine bright spots in an otherwise miserable Burnley campaign. His goal against Villa was his 10th of the Premier League season, making him only the 5th Burnley player in history to reach double figures in a single Premier League campaign. For context, the others on that list are Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, Sam Vokes and Danny Ings, elite company for the Clarets standards. Winger Jayden Anthony has also shown flashes of quality, and Hannibal Mejbri, the former Manchester United Academy graduate, has recovered from the injury that forced him off against Villa and should be available on Monday. But here is the cold reality for Burnley. They have never scored more than one goal against Arsenal in a Premier League match. Not once. And Arsenal have won 10 consecutive Premier League games against relegated sides. Burnley are walking into the Emirates against a team that is hungry, desperate, and historically dominant against exactly this kind of opposition. The only scenario where Burnley can dream is if Arsenal come out nervous, tentative, and allow the occasion to get to them. If the Gunners start slowly and allow Burnley to sit deep and hit on the counter, there is always a chance of a chaotic result. Football has delivered stranger outcomes. But everything, the form, the history, the quality, points in one direction. The bigger picture. What does it mean? Let's take a step back for a moment, because this is not just about a Monday night football match. This is about a club that has spent 22 years waiting. 3 consecutive runners-up finishes in recent seasons. The heartbreak of watching Manchester City win title after title, while Arsenal finished just short, just not good enough. The players who came close and left, the managers who tried and fell, the supporters who chanted and believed and had their hearts broken year after year. Mikel Arteta took a squad that was in disarray and rebuilt it from the foundations. He brought in Saliba, Odegaard, Rice, Saka, and yes, Victor Gyökeres this season, and created something genuinely worth believing in. This is not a team winning ugly. This is a team that has played beautiful, purposeful football. They have lost just 5 Premier League games all season. They have scored goals from all over the pitch. And now, 22 years after the Invincibles, Arsenal are 90 minutes from something extraordinary. If they win on Monday night, they will not be champions yet, because they still need City to drop points on Tuesday. But if Arsenal do their job and City fail to do theirs, then before the final day of the season, before they face Crystal Palace, before the Champions League final against PSG, Arsenal will be Premier League champions. Prediction time. So, what happens on Monday? Let's call it. Burnley will set up in that defensive 4-2-3-1 that worked reasonably well against Villa. They will try to frustrate Arsenal early, absorb pressure, and look for a moment of quality on the counter. Fleming will be a threat inside the box if crosses come his way. But Arsenal's quality is simply on another level. Saka will be electric. Gyökeres will give Burnley's centre-backs the worst 90 minutes of their season. Odegaard will pick passes through the lines. And the crowd at the Emirates, knowing what is at stake, will be absolutely electric from the first whistle. We are calling Arsenal 3-0, comfortable, controlled, professional. Exactly the kind of performance you need when the pressure is at its absolute highest. No slip-ups, no drama. Just 3 points and then waiting for Tuesday night. That is it for today's preview. Arsenal versus Burnley, Monday night, Emirates Stadium. 22 years of waiting. 2 points at the top. The title within touching distance. And a Burnley side that has absolutely nothing to lose. This is what football is about. This is why we love the game. That is it for today's preview. Arsenal versus Burnley, Monday night, Emirates Stadium. 22 years of waiting. 2 points at the top. The title within touching distance. And a Burnley side that has absolutely nothing to lose. This is what football is about. This is why we love the game. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button right now. It helps us more than you know. Subscribe to Arsenal updates if you haven't already, and make sure the notification bell's turned on so you don't miss our full reaction and match report after Monday night. Drop your score predictions in the comments. I want to see how many of you are calling a big Arsenal win, and how many of you think Burnley pull off the shock of the decade. Until next time, this is Arsenal Updates. Stay loyal, stay passionate, and come on, you Gunners.